Group. Football. Catch the fever.
From Louisville, Ohio, good evening. It's time for high school football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 at Q92radiosports.com. It's one of a ton of games we have for you tonight and all season long, as it is week one, part two. Last night we had the Perry Panthers and the Central Catholic Crusaders. We had Fairless and Sandy Valley, and we had McKinley and Harding. And tonight we come to you from Louisville, the home of the Leopards, and they're going to host the Quakers of New Philadelphia. Louisville coming in off a 1-9 season last year under Chris Kappas, who was in his first year as head coach after being a defensive coordinator at both Mount Union and Austin Peay. They'll be taking on the New Philadelphia Quakers, 6-5 and a playoff team 1 year ago. And in the meeting last year on week one, it was New Philadelphia winning 42-21. That was one of only two games during the season that the Leopards scored over 14 points. The other time it happened was in week two. So we have a beautiful night. The lights are on, the stands are filling in, and we are getting set for a matchup, a very intriguing matchup between two foes from Stark and Tuscarawas counties in Louisville and New Philadelphia. When we come back, we're going to hear about the other games tonight on Q92radiosports.com, and then later on we're going to hear from the coaches of tonight's two competing teams. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for everything here tonight on Q92 Radio Sports. Appreciate you being with us. A lot of things coming up, and hopefully a very good game. So a timeout. We'll come back and we'll hear about the other games tonight on Q92radiosports.com. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
And now
Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group,
right,
with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at Sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Week one of the high school football season is here, and Q92 Sports is in North Canton for the matchup between Akron Buchtel and the Hoover Vikings. Buchtel head coach Brian Williams is entering his fourth season and has a lot of experience coming back from last year's 6-6 team, returning 24 lettermen. Leading the Griffiths is 4-year starter at quarterback Stevie Diamond. Diamond has college scholarship offers from Central State and Marshall. Diamond isn't the only weapon for Buchtel. Demetrius Coates and Armin Gable are Buchtel's top returnees. Diamond, Coates, and Gable are also basketball players who contributed to Buchtel's Division II state championship team this past season. Coates is being recruited by Central State, Baldwin Wallace, and Wittenberg. Buchtel also had 7 players transfer from surrounding schools to add to their depth. The Griffiths have been playoff bound 3 of the past 4 seasons, are posed to return this year. Hoover head coach Brian Baum is returning for his 10th season as head coach of the Vikings, and he's returning quite a few lettermen of his own, 27 from last season's 6-6 team. Zach Brocker, a third-team All-Ohio wide receiver who caught 57 passes for 808 yards and 7 touchdowns last year, and also led the Vikings on defense with 4 interceptions at corner. This year might spend a little time at quarterback, a position he grew up playing and subbed a little bit last year when 3-year starter Carson Durland was injured. Junior John Collins will also see time at quarterback for the Viking. Hoover has depth at the skill position as well and will look to senior corner and wideout Isaiah Barker, who is coming off a Division I state championship in the long jump. If one thing is true about Coach Baum's teams, they are physical, aggressive, and well-coached. And Coach Baum's looking to get this Hoover Vikings back into the playoffs. The action kicks off tonight at 7 o'clock on Q92radiosports.com. Join myself, Ryan Keller, and my broadcast partner, Mike Voorhees, with the call from Memorial Stadium in North Canton. Ryan Keller, Q92 Sports.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
Hey everybody, Christian Bigglesworth coming to you live from Clinton Haycock Stadium in Beloit, Ohio, site of tonight's game between the Canfield Cardinals and the West Branch Warriors on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live at Q92radiosports.com. The Canfield Cardinals coming to tonight's game in a bit of transition as a program with their new head coach, Joe Ignacio. He inherits a team that went 7-4 last year, losing in round 2 of the playoffs, and a team that won a state title 2 years ago. It's also a team with only 4 seniors starting on both sides of the ball. The Cardinals will rely heavily on their junior class and quarterback Enzo Coca, running back Sean Bowlings, and their receivers Joey Panunzio, Adam Christie, and Carson Couture. For West Branch, this is Coach Cooper's 3rd year at the helm. In the regular season, he has a record of 18-2, both of those losses to Canfield. Last year, West Branch went 11-2 and made it to the 3rd round of the playoffs. This team is back with a lot of senior leadership, but they'll be led by junior Jeremiah Thomas, making the change from wide receiver to quarterback this year, and he'll have a loaded offense in front of him, with running back Boston Molnix, who's run for 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons. Wide receivers Joey Jackson, Anthony Perry, and Cooper Anderson, and an offensive line made entirely of seniors. Not to mention their big tight end, junior Gavin Gregory. West Branch has become a perennial playoff team, and they have a stranglehold on the EBC Conference. Will it continue this year? Find out as the season starts tonight. It's Canfield and West Branch, and you can hear it all right here on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live at Q92radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I'm Christian Bigglesworth.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jay Wilhelm with Q92 Sports, and after a few years out of the booth, I have returned for the 2024 high school football season. It's week 1, and I'm coming to you live from Dover as the Tornadoes open the season at home and will face the Green Bulldogs. Dover, led by Ohio High School Hall of Fame coach Dan Ift. This will be their final season as an independent as they rejoin the Ohio Cardinal Conference in the fall of 2025. The Green Bulldogs come in led by head coach Mark Geis in his 6th season. The Bulldogs start with this tough road test after going 10-4 last year, but will face some struggles right off the jump as they are without 2 big players who were supposed to be 4-year varsity players who are recovering from injuries. Offensive and defensive lineman Michael Shaw and star wide receiver and defensive back Antonio Martin are both dealing with knee injuries, although Martin could return soon. One thing we know is Coach Geis will have his guys ready regardless, and this should be a great one to start the season. Tune in to Q92radiosports.com as kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. Again, I'm Jay Wilhelm live from Dover with Q92 Sports.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Welcome back to another great high school football season. And boy, do we have a great week 1 matchup in store. In this week 1 matchup, we will have the Jackson Polar Bears traveling up north to take on the Menor Cardinals in a rematch from week 1 last season that saw the Cardinals win 26-21. Menor will be fired up as this is their 100th season of Cardinal football. The headline for this game will be at the quarterback position. For Menor, it will be West Virginia commit and senior Scotty Fox taking on Jackson's junior QB, Lucas Eckerman. Fox has been the starter since his sophomore year, and last season he threw for 2,275 yards with 22 touchdowns. And if he wants to break Mitch Trubisky's school record, he will need to have a monster year and throw for 3,124 yards. He will have lots of help to do that, as there will be 4 returning receivers for him to throw to, including junior Justin Hodge, who had 46 catches for 872 yards and 8 touchdowns. Defensively, the Cardinals are led by their 2 senior linebackers, Caden Clare, who last season had 86 tackles and 4 sacks, and Spencer Harbinger with 71 tackles and 2 sacks. However, for the Polar Bears, Eckerman will look to match their passing offense with his own. Last season, Eckerman threw for 2,086 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, while also being the team's leading rusher with 468 yards and 2 touchdowns. Eckerman will only have 1 returning receiver to throw to, though, by the likes of senior Noah Calando, who had 40 catches for 511 yards and 4 touchdowns. Defensively for the Polar Bears will be led by senior linebacker Jordan Warmoth, who last season had an astounding 142 tackles and 2 sacks. Who will come out on top in this Week 1 rematch? Will it be the Polar Bears or the Cardinals? Only way to find out is by tuning into Q92radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I'm Ian Herman.
A trip to Summit County will begin the 2024 season for the Northwest Indians and their head coach, John DeMarco. They'll be at Norton tonight as they take on the Norton Panthers now for the 4th straight year. The last 3 seasons with these teams opening the year against each other, Norton has gone 2-1 in that time, including a 35-6 win last year at Northwest. This is a Norton team that has a group of seniors that in their first 3 years, they have a combined record of 31-5. They've been really good under Coach Glenn Kruger. Last year, they were led offensively by their outstanding quarterback in Zach Bowman. He graduated, though. He completed 78% of his passes last season for over 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns to 1 interception. The one key piece that does return offensively, Buddy Willig, the All-Ohioan wide receiver who caught over 500 yards worth of balls last season and over 10 touchdowns through the air. Although Coach Kruger seemed to think that Willig would miss tonight's game. We'll see if Buddy is able to go at game time. As for the Northwest Indians, Tyler Pappas returns for his 2nd year as the starting quarterback. Last year as a sophomore, he had an up-and-down season, but the growth always happens between that sophomore and junior campaign. And Parker Kraft returns from last year's offense. He was the 2nd leading rusher to Connor Satterfield last year, who was an All-Ohioan at running back and at linebacker. Just an outstanding senior last season for Coach DeMarco and the Indians. It'll be Northwest at Norton tonight, and you can hear it on Q92radiosports.com. I'll have the call along with George Bozica, and for Q92 Sports, I'm John Bozica.
Hey everybody, Matt Morrison streaming to you live on Q92radiosports.com from William E. Kurtz Stadium, the site of tonight's game between the Tuslaw Mustangs and the Smithville Smithies. Tuslaw coming off a rough 2-8 regular season last year to go along with an 0-7 Pac-7 record. Tuslaw will be bringing in first-year head coach Brock Dial, who had a very successful run at Dalton. Dial's offense will be led by running back Joey Medor, who had 881 rushing yards last year to go along with 6 touchdowns. One of the big guys blocking in front of Medor will be 6'1", 220-pound left guard Kyle Allen, who was an all-Northeast Inland District honorable mention and an all-Pac-7 honorable mention last season. Dial won't be the only new thing coming to Tuslaw this year, as the Mustangs will be playing on a synthetic turf for the first time in program history. Tuslaw has not finished above 500 since 2018. Their opponent, Smithville, finished 5-5 last year after having their first winning season in 2022 for the first time in 2017. Tuslaw and Smithville will get going here on Friday. You can hear it all here on Q92radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I am Matt Morrison.
Congratulations to this month's SARTA Sensations. We salute Sensational Maintenance Supervisor Bill Mercer, who ensures SARTA has enough buses inspected and cleaned each morning. We salute our sensational administrator, John Michaels, who improves our processes and trains others the proper storage of SARTA records. We salute sensational writer Kevin, who gets where he needs to go, from shopping and dining to appointments. Way to go, Kevin. Learn more at SARTAsensations.com.
Welcome back on Q92. for high school football on a Friday night with the Louisville Leopards hosting the New Philadelphia Quakers. And we have a chance to talk with the head coach of the Leopards. His name is Chris Kappas, back for his second season. And Coach, thanks for being with us tonight. And as you get ready for season 2, I imagine it has to be a huge difference as it was going into last year, your first year as a head coach.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I mean, it's a completely different expectation and everything moving forward from year 1 to year 2 is just I feel like I've gained 10 years of experience in one calendar year, and we're really excited about the off season that we had and the team we got coming out for this year.
If you could put a couple of things out there as far as the things that maybe you didn't know last year that you knew coming into this year, that you were able to knock those things out or be prepared for them when they came along.
Well, I think the biggest thing was just how to really approach the whole off season. Got a little bit of a late start when I got hired last year, and wasn't really able to get the full everything installed in time to have the type of experience that we needed to have. I was used to working with college athletes who are already where they need to be, and you just got to mold them. Now here, in high school level, you have to build men, you have to build players, and you got to build their mental toughness and their mental capacity to handle football. And it was a great experience learning for everybody across the board. But there's a lot of things you don't know what you don't know. But it's kind of like being a dad for the first time. You got to figure it out, and when the second one comes around, you pretty much got it figured out at that point.
Well, as far as this season is concerned, you're coming off a 1-9 campaign last year, but you have some important people back and people that you think can really help your team make that next step this year. Talk about the people that you're counting on the most.
Well, we got quite a few guys back that played a lot of football. We were always going to pride ourselves on being a defensive-minded team. On the defensive side of the ball, we pretty much have our entire secondary back, led by Colton Loy, will be a 3-year starter at safety. Just a guy that can kind of do a little bit of everything. He's playing some tight end too on offense and some receiver. Gabe Stouffer is back at safety. Cooper Rice is back at corner. Ty Palmier is back at corner. So 3 of those 4 guys are all seniors this year with a ton of experience and have played really, really good football last year at times. Expecting those guys to really step up. And then our 2 inside linebackers are just phenomenal people and phenomenal football players, or phenomenal leaders. Number 44, Jacob Galbraith, is a returning starter, and he had a solid year last year, but he really put the work in. As a linebacker weighing 215, 220 pounds. He's one of the fastest kids on our team and is really poised to have a big year. And then Cam Doherty is the other inside backer who started at running back and linebacker for us last year. He really attacked the off season and is in a really good place to have a successful season this year. And then up front, we have some guys that have some experience. Wyatt Smith is back. We got him in kind of a different position than he played last year. It'll suit his skill set on the edge, being out on the edge a little bit more than having to kind of play inside at times last year. So he's poised to have a big season. And then we have quite a few guys that are ready to take the next step and step up, guys that have waited their turn, that are going to be seniors, that are coming in, and you'll hear those names certainly here in the next couple weeks.
Last year opened with New Philadelphia and a loss in that game by a 42-21 score. That and one other game, your next game, were the only games all season where you scored over 14 points. So now the offensive side of the ball is where the next questions come, and are you going to be able to up those numbers this year?
Absolutely. That's the goal. That was one of our focal points in the off season, was to, how do we score more points, right? And it always comes down to being able to run the football on offense. And we got a great group of linemen that are coming back from last year. Trevor Burek, Chase Wondercheck, and Josh Nicholson have all really elevated their game from a year ago. So we got 3 returning starters in the O-line, some young guys stepping in there that are going to do really well. And we've been able to run the football so far this preseason in both of our scrimmages, and that was one of the biggest things. You can't run the football, then it's hard to pass because people are just teeing off on you. And we struggled up front last year with some injuries as well. So, we got to be able to run the football. And, that I think we've adjusted some schemes. We got some guys healthy. And so we anticipate being able to do that. And then, Tate Aljancic is going to be our quarterback. He was back up last year and played a significant amount of time, but played a lot of JV last year and led our JV team to a winning record last year. And as a senior this year, expecting him to be a guy that's, going to be surprising a lot of people. And there's going to be some college football teams knocking on his door, I think, once they see how far he's come so far. Owen DiMarzio will be a junior this year. He played a lot last year as a sophomore, the running back, but had some injuries that I think kind of kept him from really turning on the full go last year. And, he won the Stark County 100 meter this year as a sophomore, running sub 11 100 meters. So he's an explosive player that I think is going to, have a chance every time he touches the ball. He can take it the distance. So, the big play threats there. Our goal is to run the football, and we're in a better position to do that. And I think we have a quarterback and a leader at the helm in Tate Aljancic that's really gonna open some eyes on his efficiency and his ability to lead an offense.
All right, that's Chris Kappas. He's the head coach of the Louisville Leopards. They take on New Philadelphia this week. And, Coach, good luck this week and all season, and thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
Back here on Q92 as we get ready for tonight's game between Philadelphia and Louisville. And Coach Mike Johnson is leading the Quakers into this one at Louisville. And, Coach, first of all, welcome back to the football season, and talk about where your team is as you see them coming into this first game.
Well, it's good to be back to football season. It seems like it's been a while, so we're excited to get things going here in 2024. We got a group with a lot of guys that return on different places and different pieces on both sides of the ball. So really defensively, we like our guys that are coming back. We got a lot of returners in the back half. It's some of the guys in the middle that we're looking to see some different players step up this year. Our back half with our corners and safeties, all those guys are returning players, with Pete DiDonato and Carter Watson outside. The defensive back half, our safeties, we have Keaton Fossil, who's a 3-year starter on offense, but this will be his first year starting on defense. And then Carson Long playing the safety position. And then both of our outside backers, Miles Tyson and Brody Gilland, are back. So we're looking to replace the inside linebackers and a couple of defensive linemen. But between Boston Crow and Jackson Corns coming back, we have a pretty veteran defensive side of the ball.
Well, 6 wins last year in a pretty tough conference, the Ohio Cardinal Conference. And first of all, just a little assessment of after you've had a chance to look back on it, what you thought of last year's season and how it went, and what your prospects are for this year in the conference.
There were a lot of good things from last year and last year's team. We were able to win a couple of close games, pull a couple out. But then there were some times where we showed some inconsistency. So what we're hoping for this year is to kind of get rid of those inconsistencies, be a more consistent football team, be a more disciplined football team, which will allow us to have a little bit more success in the football field. But what was great was as the season went on, we saw growth towards that. We saw our players playing, doing their job. We saw them with a little bit more attention to detail, and that's where we saw some success. So we're excited to build on that. The OCC is always an incredibly tough conference, going up against non-conference teams like Steubenville, like a Louisville, like a Dover. You have good teams that are well versed and well schooled in football who we're going to have to show up every week, and that's one of the hard things to do is to always get these kids ready to go every week, but they're always ready to play football. That attention to detail is so critical.
Well, you did take on Louisville last year. You got a win in the opener. I believe it was 42-21. That's a program and a team that seems to be on the upswing and hoping to improve this year. What did you see from them, and what do you expect this week?
Last year, well, they've changed a little bit from last year to this year. Last year they were a 3-man front on defense. This year they have 4 down linemen. They got a couple of guys back, a couple of vets back, some good defensive linemen. The defensive back half, there's a couple of skill guys who look to be very fast and have a good nose for the ball. So. I mean, defensively, we're going to have to, or our offense is going to have to make sure we take care of that and block something different than what we did last year. But for as far as their offense goes, they have some really good running backs and a quarterback who's a big kid who looks like he just throws the ball really well. So, they've changed. But their offense seems to have a little bit of a resemblance to what it did last year. They're able to sling it. They're able to run it with 2 different good running backs. Their defense, though, that's going to be a big change from what they did a year ago.
That's Mike Johnson. He's the head coach of the New Philadelphia Quakers. They take on Louisville this week in week 1 of the 2024 season. Coach, good luck tonight and all season long, and thanks for your time.
All right, thanks, Clint. Go Quakers.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Well, this one got started a little early. They went a minute or two early, so we missed the opening kickoff, which was run back by New Philadelphia to the 39-yard line, and now we have an injured player on the field for the Louisville Leopards down on the 26-yard line. So we are 7 seconds in, and one of the Louisville players is down and injured. In the Life Care Family Health and Dental Care injury report, we had only one major injury to talk about coming into the game. Miles Tyson, the junior linebacker, leading tackler coming back from last year for Louisville, or for New Philadelphia, is out this week and not playing. And so it is an injury there for New Philadelphia, and now we have an injury here for Louisville, and I'm afraid it looks like maybe a head or a neck injury to the player. And not the way we want to start tonight. We missed the opening kickoff, and then we had an injury on that kickoff that looks to be at least a moderately serious one. The player is moving his feet, but the trainer that is up by his head is holding his head. Clint Scroggs here with Ryan Bevere at Louisville as the Quakers of New Philadelphia and the Leopards of Louisville getting started. And Louisville coming in 1-9 from last year, and the Quakers at 6-5, and they're bringing the Gurney out onto the field, and we have no idea who the player is. He has trainers around him, and he's on his back, so we haven't been able to see a number, but it's a Louisville player injured on the first play of the season here in 2024 on what started out as a perfect night here in Louisville. A beautiful day and temperatures in the upper 70s and a little bit of a breeze and no chance of precipitation, and looking forward to a good game between 2 very intriguing teams, but we have a delay right now.
Not what you want to see, obviously. This place was rocking, Clint. It was ready to go week 1 of high school football, and this is just I hate seeing this. I mean, there's nothing worse than a high school athlete laying down on the field.
Yep. Like I said, he was moving his legs, so he was able to do that. But he was, when we first spotted him, he was flat on his back on the 26-yard line and looking straight up at the sky. And they took his helmet off, and one of the trainers is holding his head straight and making sure that isn't affected as they treat him now. So while we have a chance, let's take a short break. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Located on West Tuscan Canton, Harmon's Pub has proudly earned the title of Stark County's #1 bar. This local gem tantalizes taste buds with an impressive array of 18 chicken wing flavors, perfectly paired with an eclectic menu of fresh salads, mouth-watering burgers, and irresistible daily food and drink specials. Thursday nights are legendary for their famous Reuben with fries, all for just $10.99. Whether you're a wing aficionado or a burger enthusiast, Harmon's Pub is the ultimate destination for great food, delightful drinks, and unforgettable experiences. When it comes to heating and cooling your home, quality always takes precedence. Being warm in the winter and cool during the summer are necessary for Ohio's extreme weather. At Harding Heating and Cooling, they recognize your needs and hope to bring comfort to your home. They are the Ream Pro dealer for the Alliance area. Serving the area since 1975, Harding Heating and Cooling does everything for your comfort. With transparent pricing, 24/7 emergency services, comfort is just a phone call away at 330-823-8461. Visit Harding Heating and Cooling online at hardingheating.com.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Everything's come to a screeching halt. No question, Denny, whether you're talking about the home side of the field with the Leopards fans, not only first game of 2024, but the first game at home for them. The Quakers, the black and red, have brought a nice road crowd, and all that, of course, screeching to a halt. More importantly, the care of the young man that's down on the field, and I guess ironically is the right word enough.
It is a timeout here at Louisville, and we're 7 seconds into the game, and we had an injury on the opening kickoff, and one of the Louisville players is down. They have the gurney out on the field, and taking care of that young man. We haven't been able to catch a number yet, but we are awaiting that. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to be something that they're rushing around and trying to do extremely quickly. In fact, they're actually going very slowly to take care of this player. And it looks like possibly a neck injury.
Looks like mom and dad might be down there with him.
Looks like it. And as we said, the player was moving his feet, moving his legs. So that was a good sign. And they have the brace on his back and his neck right now, and they're getting ready to put him on a gurney and take him out away from us and to the right side of the field. And now they have the player up on the gurney, and his teammates, his offensive teammates, coming out on the field to gather around and shake his hand and pat him on the chest as he gets ready to be taken away. And we'll find out the injured player as soon as we can for Louisville. Ryan Bevere up in the booth with me again tonight, as he was last night at Perry in the game against Central. The way this game starts, it's like we have to start all over and start from scratch.
I don't know how you. I don't know. It's a good thing I'm not the head coach for Louisville or New Philly, because I wouldn't even know where to begin, Clint. I mean, that is just. I mean, for both teams, it's not just Louisville; it's New Philly. It's everybody. It's just. I'm at a loss for words, partner. I really don't know what else to say about it. Just hope that we could play a clean game the rest of the way, and prayers for the player that's going into the ambulance right now.
All right, so we will get started with the New Philadelphia Quakers with a football on their 39-yard line. They're working from our right to our left, and they are out with Keaton Fossil, their 3-year starter at quarterback. One back, and play action. Going to throw deep over the middle, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted. It was short-hopped by Ty Palmier, one of the defensive backs. That pass was off the mark by Fossil and incomplete. So nearly a turnover on the first play, which would have been a nice development for Louisville after the kickoff. But in any case, it'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Quakers. They have Pete DiDonato and Carter Watson as inside receivers. Wide man to the near side is Carson Long. And on second down, it's a run up the middle and a tackle right around the line of scrimmage. Colton Doherty on the tackle coming from the outside as he brings down Peyton Miller, the ball carrier for New Philadelphia. So it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Quakers, who won this game last year 42-21 and went on to a 6-5 season and a trip to the playoffs. In now comes C.J. Carlisle. He'll be one of the 3 receivers to the near side of the field, one out to the right, and one back again is Peyton Miller. In the pistol, play action. Fossil looking left, looking right, now rolling, and he's going to run, and he's going to be forced out of bounds. It looks like short of the first down. They're going to spot him on the 48-yard line, so he's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
It's been a down couple years, the last couple years for this Louisville team, but they've got some ball hawks on that defense, Clinton. We're seeing it here on the first drive. They've got about 4 to 5 blue jerseys going to the ball the first 3 plays. And an obvious go-for-it situation for New Philly. So a big defensive stand right here could flip the field for Louisville.
4th and 1 on their own 48-yard line for the Quakers. And it'll be Fossil running it himself over the right side, and he's going to get over the 50 and a first down to the Louisville 48-yard line. So he picks up 4 on the play. And the Quakers will have a 1st and 10. We are almost 2 minutes into this first quarter in a scoreless game. Nice crowd on both sides of the field tonight here at Leopard Stadium. The tight end is going to line up to the right side, Jackson Norris, and they'll bring 2 out to the near side, and they'll have a wing left and a running back in the backfield. High snap, Fossil pulls it down, running around in the backfield, looking for someone downfield, and he finally just throws the ball into the first row of the bleachers on the far side. Has good coverage downfield by the Leopards, and then late pressure by Austin Wade, a senior defensive end, tight end at 6'5" and 215 for Louisville, setting up a 2nd and 10.
I think we're going to see 2 polar opposites as far as the game we saw last night at Perry to this game. I think we're going to see a lot of airing it out tonight between both of these teams.
It will be 2nd and 10 on the Louisville 48. Snap back. Fossil going to swing it out to the near side to C.J. Carlisle trying to make a move, but that's going to be called a drop as the ball went down to the turf, and it's going to be called incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for New Philadelphia. So we've already seen 5 different wideouts. The running back is Peyton Miller, and their tight end is Jackson Norris, and he'll set up on the right side. They have a wing right, 2 receivers near side left. And Fossil in the pistol, takes the snap, looks out to the right, throws out of the backfield and broken up and nearly intercepted. Stepping in front was Jake Galbraith for Louisville, senior linebacker, who read that play perfectly and nearly had a pick.
Jake was playing a nice zone on that far side of the field, and as soon as he got that ball through the air, like I said, Clint, they're ball hawks. They go after this football wherever it's at, whether it's being carried, whether it's through the air, and a nice defensive stand for Louisville.
Line and linebacker, their most experienced positions on the field, and it showed up on that possession. Punting situation here for New Philadelphia. Not much of a snap, but Brody Gillen gets the ball away and kicks it out of bounds on the far side. That's not a very long kick, and let's see where they mark it. It was kicked line of scrimmage, the Louisville 48, and it'll be out of bounds on the 32-yard line. So a 16-yard punt there for the Quakers, and with 9:25 to go in the first, the Leopards will take over 1st and 10 on their 32. Their quarterback is Tate Aljancic, 6'4", 190, a senior. And Mike Johnson, the head coach at New Philadelphia, very concerned about what he saw about Tate Aljancic on film. He led the JV team to 7 wins last year. So we'll see what he can do here. 3 wide receivers on the field, and they'll run it up the middle. And it's a nice gain to the 35, 36-yard line. Looks like Cam Doherty carrying the ball. 200-pound senior. And another team that has some experience and some depth at the skill positions. Gabe Stauffer comes out. He's going to be replaced by Colton Lloyd, who's going to come in with a play. 3 minutes into this first quarter and no score. Lloyd will go out to the far left side. Quinn Burek will be the wide man over there. And one to the near side. Aljancic hands off again, running left and to the 38, 39, pushing his way ahead to the 39-yard line. Again, that's Cam Doherty. And it'll be a 3rd and short here, 3rd and 2 for Louisville from their 39-yard line. And the Louisville offense, not in a huge hurry, it looks like. Jacob Palmier will come in with a play from the near side of the field, but player runs off the field. The player with the new play runs on the field. And so it'll be a 3rd and 2, 3 down linemen for the Quakers. And they run the ball up the middle, and it looks like a first down or very close to it. Doherty again gets the ball, and he goes down on the tackle by Vincent Magoni, but it will be a first down for Louisville. So they move the chains, and we'll have a first down on their 42-yard line. Chris Kappas, bit of a conservative start to this one on the Louisville sideline.
You got to love a team that is comfortable running the football on 3rd down, although it may be 3rd and short. First drive of the season, Clint. You're seeing it from both sides, air and ground.
Here's another handoff, and up the middle. This time a new ball carrier for Louisville, and it's Owen DiMarzio, Stark County 100-meter champ from last year. DiMarzio takes it ahead for a nice gain out to the 47-yard line. So 5 yards on first down, and it's been nothing too exciting here from Louisville as far as variety. It's been right up the middle. New Philly with a 3-man line, and the Leopards have taken advantage. Here comes Jacob Palmier with a play from the near side. Luke Seaman goes out to the left. 1 out there, 3 to the near side, and now they quick swing it out to the near side. DiMarzio going for the sideline. He's pulled down at the 49-yard line on an open field tackle by Carson Long. And it will be at the Quaker 49, so it'll be 3rd and 1 once again.
Got a big block from the slot receiver right there. Got him right by the first down marker. I thought he was going to get it. But you're in a good spot at the 49-yard line. Maybe let's see if they run it again.
So 3rd and 1, quick flip out to the left side. It's a catch. One tackle was missed, but the pursuit comes to knock down the ball carrier, which is Gabe Stauffer at near midfield. He's going to lose a little bit on the play, and it will be now 4th down and again about 2, a short 2 for Louisville with the ball just creeping over the 50-yard line. We're at 5:23 to go in the first quarter. Each team has had the ball once. The Quakers got a first down, but had to punt it away. And now Louisville from their 31 have moved it to the 50 and have a 4th and 2. Again, 3 down linemen for the Quakers. They look to the near side for the play. 7 on the play clock. Aljancic is going to kick the ball, and he didn't kick it very well. It's to the near side. Needs a good bounce. It doesn't get it. And that's going to be downed at the New Philadelphia 33-yard line. So only about 17 yards on the quick kick. 2 games in a row we've seen a quick kick. And the Leopards trying to pin New Philly back deep, and it doesn't work out.
Not a fan of that one, Clint. I don't understand. You're across the 50-yard line. High school football, the punt game we know is just not as crucial as it may be in the pros or in college, and to get 17 yards out of that, it just seems like on 4th down and 1, you just go for it right there. You've had no problems running the ball so far.
So New Philly with the ball on their 33. The referee telling the players to get out on the field. They're huddled around their coach on the near side of the field. They're going to let New Philly start this play with Louisville still standing on the near sideline. Now they get out there in position. From the 33, 1st and 10 for the Quakers. With Fossil taking the snap, rolling out to the right, throws far sideline, caught by Long to the 40 and out of bounds on the 40-yard line. And it looked like a face mask over there. And finally the flag comes in from the deep official, like somebody had Carson Long by the face mask. And this will add on to this play, which got out to the 40. They got 7 yards on the play. And could very well be more added on at the end. Mike Johnson talking to one of the officials. And let's see, it is a personal foul against New Philadelphia. They called it a personal foul against New Philadelphia. I didn't see that. I thought I saw a face mask. It's all the way on the other side of the field, so maybe I didn't get that one correct, but apparently a late hit or something by one of the New Philly Quakers is going to move them back. That's why I guess why the closest official to the ball carrier didn't throw a flag. It was the deep official, and that'll back them up to the 26. So they need 17 yards on 2nd down after the completion, but the offensive penalty. One out wide near side. Slot near side, and they pitch him the ball, running around to the right, out across the 30, and out to around the 34-yard line goes Pete DiDonato, wide receiver at 5'10 and 170, a senior, and he picks up enough yardage to get back ahead of the chains. 3rd and 9.
Did a good job to get upfield, Clint. A lot of these running backs, they try to run sideline to sideline. They go too much lateral. That he did a good job to just cut it up the hash mark and turn it upfield.
Got 12 men on the field here for Louisville. 3 went on and only 2 came off. And Louisville's going to have to call a timeout. So we'll take a break with 3:46 to go in the first quarter. No score. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members. With a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
This is High School Football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
New Philadelphia with a 3rd and 9 on their 34-yard line. And here's Fossil looking out to the right. Nothing there. Started to run. Now pulls it down. Rolling right. Being chased. Throws deep downfield and incomplete. Pass intended for Jackson Norris down around the 40-yard line. But again, it is good coverage by New Philadelphia, or by Louisville. And New Philadelphia unable to shake anybody free. Fossils had time to look downfield, but no one to throw the ball to.
He faked them, to be honest. He lured Louisville's defenders to bite because of a little pump fake that he had at the line of scrimmage. He just threw it a little bit too far out of his receiver's hands.
So Brody Gilland to punt it away. One back for Louisville on his 35-yard line. Snap loops back. Here's the kick, and a nice kick. End-over-end kick. Fair catch called for and taken by Gabe Stauffer back on the 30-yard line. So 36 on the punt and no return.
Ashton Marshall the senior for Louisville, almost got in there for a block. And when I say almost, I would like to say, I bet he felt the football on his fingers when it was skying through the air.
On the Sardis scoreboard, Hoover leading Buchtel 7-6 late first quarter. Menor 14, Jackson 7, also late in the first quarter. Dover leading Green 7-0 in the first. West Branch over Canfield by a 7-0 score. Padua up on Alliance 6-0. As Louisville with their second possession now from their 30-yard line. Aljancic first down, handoff up the middle, and it is DiMarzio to the 34. Looked like the Quakers sent a run blitzer there from the outside. DiMarzio running up inside, picks up about 4 yards, almost 5 on the play, as we're at 3:10 to go in the first quarter. No score.
Be interested to see how long Louisville goes trying to establish that run before they start airing it out, because you know they're going to. Both of these teams will see 5 wide. We'll see empty sets. We'll see play action, and we're going to see some 20, 30-yard deep passes. Just a matter of time.
Aljancic again in the pistol with a man to his right, hands him the ball up the middle. And out to the 38-yard line, just plowing straight ahead goes DiMarzio. That'll set up another 3rd and short, a 3rd and 2 here for Louisville in a scoreless game here in the first quarter.
It's very shocking, Clint, to not see much of a road student section. I know it's off topic, but don't really see any Quakers over there.
A decent crowd in the adult section, but not so much in the teen section. Here's a give up the middle, and it's going to be a first down for Louisville across the 40 to the 42. So 4 more yards there for Owen DiMarzio. Only a junior, as we said, a sprinter, won the county 100 meters last year. Here comes Cooper Rice into the ball game, a senior, listed on the roster as a defensive back and quarterback. So we'll see if there might be something brewing here with Rice out to the left side. Slot left, one to the near side. Nope, right up the middle they go. And it is DiMarzio again, I believe. This time he is wrestled down to the field by Boston Crowell, 275-pound defensive tackle, making the tackle, but only after a 5-yard gain for Louisville.
I'd like to see if they might run the ball again here on second down, get it down to 3rd and short, and then maybe that's when they try to catch them off guard and air it out. If you don't get that, you just go for it on 4th down. I would assume. They didn't do that last time.
Again, it's one out to the left, Quinn Burek, and they give it off to the left and nothing there as New Philadelphia shuts that play down. The first man there was DiDonato, and also there Brody Gilland and a couple of others for the Quakers. Boston Crowell and Jackson Corns also in on the tackle. So now from their 47-yard line, should be 4th down, right?
No, this is 3rd down.
This is 3rd down. All right.
But what I'm saying is this is an obvious pass situation, wouldn't you think? 3rd and 6.
The only time they put it up so far has been the quick pops out to the backs or a wide receiver screen type throw. Now here's a throw over the middle, and it's low and outside and incomplete at the 50-yard line, intended for Colton Lloyd, but it was too low and frankly had too much mustard on it as well. And it was going to be short of the first down. So incomplete, and it'll be a 4th down now and 5 yards to go for the Leopards.
That's why that second down run was so key to get some yardage, and New Philly did a good job stopping up at the line of scrimmage, because now you're in no man's land. You can't even go you can't go for it at this point.
And a low snap. Here comes the punt, and it is away under pressure. And coming up to take it quickly is Carson Long with not a flag. It is the beanbag that goes down where the player caught the punt, and he brings it out to the 38-yard line. So a 5-yard return after about a 25-yard punt. And New Philly will have it now with 4 seconds to go in the first quarter. And we are still scoreless here at Louisville. We have the ball on the 38-yard line.
Let's see what New Philly can come out and do.
Stay tuned after the game today for the Paramount Elite Player of the Game. And waiting to see here what New Philadelphia can do on offense. Keaton Fausel, their senior quarterback, again in the pistol, has a man behind him. That's Peyton Miller. It's going to be a throw to the near side, and it's too high, and it's picked off. No, out of bounds. It's called out of bounds. Looked like a great catch by Ty Palmier on the near sideline.
And then he spiked the football right in front of the official. I was waiting for the official to throw that flag, and it looked like from up here he reached for it and then said, you know what, I'm not going to throw this one.
We do have a flag on the field out in the middle of the field as the clock has hit zeros here at the end of the first quarter. Looks like it might be an illegal man downfield against New Philadelphia.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield.
But you're right. I was looking for it, but you know what? I got to give credit to the official there.
Yeah.
That was a very close call. It would have been a great play if it was called an interception.
Yeah.
It was not, and the player was just angry and slammed the ball down.
You got to love the emotions in week one. You have to, appreciate the emotions of the kid.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter here from Louisville. We have no score. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
By choosing Life Care Family Health and Dental in Canton as your medical home, you'll have access to a variety of integrated health services, including dental, vision, women's health, children's health, and behavioral health. Life Care's goal is to provide comprehensive and coordinated medical care to maximize health outcomes for you and your family. If you are sick, we have same-day appointments for our current patients. For information on how to become a new patient, visit lifecarefhoc.org. At Life Care Family Health and Dental, you will never get turned away.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
We are back at Louisville, and we have a scoreless first quarter, and we're getting ready for the second. The Quakers will have the ball, 2nd and 10 on their own 38-yard line, now going from our left to our right, and we find out that the player that was injured on the opening kickoff is Wyatt Smith, a senior. And apparently he was knocked out momentarily, but was conscious and moving around before they took him off on the gurney. So that's good news. Here's a run up the middle by Fausel, and he's across the 50, and he's to the Louisville 48, and he picks up a first down. We haven't seen the quarterback running. He's been trying to stay in the pocket as much as possible, but this looked like a designed run right up the middle, and he picks up big yardage.
Totally. A fake to the far side of the field, go right up the middle. The hole was there, and he takes it into Louisville territory. Good play call. I'd like to see more of that.
14 yards on the play for Fausel. And on first down, they hand it on the sweep around left end. DiDonato to the far sideline. And he's going to be marked out of bounds. Where? It was going to be on the 44, but it's now going to be the 42-yard line. So that's going to be a pickup of about 6 yards for the Quakers.
Louisville's defense have to be aware of the situation right there. They just ran that same play, but it was a fake quarterback sneak right up the middle. My guess is they're not going to fake it again. So you got to guard that far side of the field when you see that.
And receivers over on the left now. They bring him to the near side. Carlisle and Matthews They have a wing to the left, and now Matthews in motion, and it's going to be Fossil running up the middle, 40, 35, 30, far sideline, down the sideline to the 20, to the 10, and all the way for the touchdown. There's a flag down back on the 28-yard line. So let's check this one out. The flag came down in the midst of that run back at the 28-yard line. It would be a 42-yard touchdown run by Keaton Fossil. Let's see what the call is going to be. A personal foul, a chop block against New Philadelphia. So that one's going to come back.
You can't get that. I mean, that was perfectly drawn up. They took a receiver to the short side of the field over here. They brought him way down far past the line of scrimmage. They took that corner out. They threw it to the opposite side of the field. And the only guy that there was to beat was someone that was running from sideline to sideline, basically. Great play call, just soiled on an offensive penalty. We didn't see much of those last night, Clint.
Basically, all we saw was false start, offside, that kind of thing. That was a major penalty there. We've also had a personal foul against New Philadelphia, which short-circuited a drive on the Sardis scoreboard. Menor 14, Jackson 10. Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. 3 on the play clock. They need to hurry up here, and they got the ball snapped, but they called a timeout just as the ball was being snapped. So an unnecessary timeout there called by the New Philadelphia Quakers. So we'll take a break as we're at 11-11 in the first half. No score, Leopards and Quakers. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
On the Sardis scoreboard, Northwest leading Norton 12-0. Northwest got handled pretty easily in that game last year, but ahead on the road right now. New Philly with a 2nd and 5 on the 43, and it will be Fossil running around left end looking for a hole, and not much of one there, but he's able to dive forward close to the 40-yard line. So a pickup of about 3 on the play, and that'll be a 3rd down and 2 here for the Quakers. We are still scoreless. Neither team has really threatened to score.
No, we've played inside the 30s. I don't even think we've gotten outside of the 30s except for the touchdown that came back.
Nobody in the RG Drag red zone so far tonight. And as Ryan Bevere said, we did have a touchdown by New Philadelphia that got called back. 4 wide on this play, and Fossil and the running back are confused. He turned to his left to fake. The running back went to his right side, so he was faking to no one. And Fossil brought down at the line of scrimmage right on the 40, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 2. So let's see what Mike Johnson elects to do here. Johnson in his 4th season as the head coach at New Philadelphia. He is looking for his 4th straight playoff appearance this year.
I won't get my analysis, but I'd punt right now, Clint.
4th and 2. They're going to go power left side. They'll run it, and they'll stop him short. New Philadelphia stacked up on the left side of their offense and just tried to outmuscle the Leopards, but Louisville having none of it. And again, the ball is turned over on downs at the 40-yard line. So as you said, we've been playing between the 30s. We've had several times where the teams have gone for it on 4th down with middling success, and now this time New Philly turns it over. They'll give it back to Louisville on their 40 with a 1st and 10, 9:42 left in the first half. And a far cry from last night's game that was basically over at the end of the first quarter. Looking for one big play here for either team. New Philly had one, but it got called back. 2 out to the right, wing to the near side, and quickly they run it up the middle, and it is DiMarzio to the 45-yard line. And again, they pick up 5 yards on first down. They've been able to run the ball straight at the Quakers, which I don't know if I expected that tonight, but it's been very effective.
I think their best opportunity to flip the field was to punt right there on fourth down. And I think that's a big mistake. And I think they're going to regret that later down the lines of this game, because what that did was it eliminated their chance to push Louisville for the first time tonight back inside their own 20.
The ball's on the 45, and it will be a give up the middle again. DiMarzio looking for room. They've got him around the waist and now around the shoulders. Brody Gilland, one of those there for the Quakers, along with Aiden Matthews, and that's a gain of 2. So again, 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 here for Louisville in a scoreless game. We played a quarter plus about 3.5 minutes here in the second quarter. Louisville in the Carolina blue jerseys and the white pants, white helmets, and New Philly in the all white with the red and black. It's a roll to the near side. It's a throw. It's a catch and an immediate tackle right there. Colton Loy went down on the quick swing pass out to the side. That will actually lose a yard back to the 46 and force a 4th and 4 here for Louisville. What we have not seen from them is any throws down the field. They've all been short passes to the outside, effective initially, but not recently.
Yeah, I'm shocked by that, Clint. I thought we'd see a lot of empty set 5 wide, and Louisville is doing exactly what New Philly. They're not going to miss this opportunity.
So here is a punt. Gabe Stouffer hits it to the far side, and they're going to let it bounce, and that is going to be an effective kick. Long didn't field it, so it's going to be downed on the 18-yard line. So 34 yards, 36 yards on the punt, and no return. Quakers will start on their 19-yard line. We'll have the Putman Properties halftime show coming up. We'll have halftime news. We'll have scores of other games, and we'll talk about what we've seen here tonight. A full house in the press box tonight for a couple of teams that combined to go 7-14 last year.
They heard I was coming back, Clint.
That's it. Mr. Louisville himself. But like last night, we had somebody in the booth that had ties to both teams. He was wearing a pink shirt, so as not to be seen as favoring one or the other. The same with Ryan Bevere here tonight. The quarterback runs it up the middle to the 21. That's a 2-yard pickup. Ryan's got his purple shirt on tonight. Got to be neutral up here in the press box. That's a 2-yard pickup for Fossil. And the clock continuing to tick down. We have had a number of running plays that have gone right up the middle for both teams. And it's 2nd and 8. 1 back, 2 receivers near side, and they'll flip it to the man coming around the end on the sweep to the 25, to the 30, and out of bounds goes C.J. Carlisle. And he looks to have a first down for the Quakers right at the 30. That's a 10-yard pickup on 2nd and 8.
Good opportunity to just slow your roll, take your time. We still got zeros on the scoreboard. So if New Philly plays their cards right now the proper way, Louisville is going to go into halftime with a 0 on the scoreboard, regardless what New Philly does here on this offensive possession. They just got to play the cards right.
They're going to send Long wide out to the left. They have a man inside him, and DiDonato, wing right, tight end right, and now flag from the umpire. And it's going to be a false start here against the Quakers. So not what they wanted there on 1st and 10. They're going to have a 1st and 15 now. And that will mean a new play coming in from the far side of the field. Mike Johnson going to relay that play right to his receiver, Carson Long, who brings it into his quarterback. Two out to the left side, one near side right, tight end right. Man goes in motion. Carlisle and Fossil back to throw, wants to go deep, but he pulls it down. He's going to run to the near side and to the sideline and out of bounds. Two Louisville players collide going after the quarterback. They're going to mark him out of bounds on about the 34. And two Louisville players got the worst of that as they were both going for the tackle and didn't get it. Jake Galbraith nearly had an interception earlier. One of those in that collision. But everybody up and back out on the field. So 2nd and 6 from the 34-yard line. Fossil takes the snap, rolls out left side, going to throw it to the far side, too high and incomplete. Intended for Carson Long, but that pass well overthrown. Jacob Palmier in coverage, and we have a flag down back behind the play and a holding call against the Quakers. That's going to be declined, and then we'll set up a 3rd down and about 6. So that's an interesting decision there by Chris Kappas to decline that penalty instead of 2nd at about 17, 18 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
Not playing the clock the way I would have loved him to, Clint, but I'm not the head coach.
We'll see how it works out here, and we'll see how that decision works out for Chris Kappas not to take that penalty. They'll go trips left side, 2 to the near side, so empty backfield. Fossil back, looking near side, slings it again, too high and incomplete. So Fossil has not been terribly accurate down the field here this evening. And that misfire sets up a 4th and 6 now for the new Philadelphia Quakers. With 6.5 minutes to go in the first half on the Sardis scoreboard, we're still 0-0 in a game that was 42-21 last season.
And it looks like Louisville is going to get the ball right where they've been getting it the entire game so far. They have yet to snap the ball beyond the 40, I want to say, outside of the opening possession from the kickoff.
Here's a punt to the near side, and again, not a great kick off the right side of the foot for Brody Gilland. And let's see where they mark this one. And it will be the 50-yard line. So that's a 16-yard punt. And again, Louisville with tremendous field position. Both teams have had either good to great field position all night long, and nobody's been able to do anything with it. The Quakers had a touchdown run called back, but other than that, nobody has really threatened the end zone tonight or even threatened the red zone.
At some point in time, when you're only getting 16 yards off these punts, you're going to have to reconsider just going for it.
Ball right on the 50. Wing right, 3 receivers. And Tate Aljancic pumps right, wants to go. Oh, he tried to throw it out to the right side. It looked like he was pumping it to the right. The ball is out, and they're calling it a lateral.
There's no way.
No,
there's no way.
The official on the far side seemed to call it a lateral, but now they're going to call it an incomplete pass, which is the right call. So Aljancic pumped. Then it looked like he wanted to go deep, and then at the last minute changed his mind and tried to throw it out, but he had 2 short receivers, and one of them tapped it away from the other one. The ball went backwards. New Philadelphia recovered the ball, as you should. You recover it and make the official decide. But it was, I think, correctly called an incomplete pass. So 2nd and 10. Trips out to the right now, 1 to the near side. And it's a fake handoff and a run up the middle by Aljancic, trying to push his way forward, and he goes inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line for a pickup of 7, and yet another 3rd and 3 here for the Louisville Leopards halfway through the second quarter in a scoreless game.
Louisville's opportunity to play their cards right with the clock. I mean, anytime you can put your opponent at halftime with 0 points, that's a win, no matter how many points you put up on the scoreboard. And that's what they're doing with 5:45 to go.
Colton Loy comes in late to set up as a wing behind the tight end on the left side. They have 2 receivers out to the far side right. Aljancic Hands off and nothing there as New Philly all over that play. Boston Crowell, who has been very active in the middle of that defensive line, makes the tackle for a loss of a yard back to the 44, and now it's 4th and 4. I know. What does Ryan Bevere think about this one as the punt team comes out on 4th and 4 from the New Philly 44-yard line?
So I actually like this one. Believe it or not, I actually like this one.
I wish I'd been keeping a running tally. We've had so many punts and so many different coaches' decisions here in this first half. Here is the kick by Stouffer and a fair catch. No, not a fair catch. A catch and a fumble inside the 10, and it's picked up by Louisville, and they're down at the 3-yard line. Tate fumbled the ball after he was hit. Louisville picks it up and runs it down inside the 5. New Philadelphia saying it should be theirs, but I don't see that.
Told you I loved it.
Well, that's always the possibility. If you're going to play the field position game, the punt was down to about the 12 or 13-yard line. It was caught by Long, who started to run. The ball was popped out of his hands. I don't know if the Quakers are saying, I don't know what they could be saying, that it's their ball. I have no idea what even if it wasn't ruled a fumble, it touched the receiver, so it should be Louisville's ball. As it is, the ball's on the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. And the Leopards, the RG Drake red zone. On the 3, Aljancic fakes the handoff, runs to the right, up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. And the Leopards take the lead. Huge turn of events there. The fumble punt, and on one play, Louisville able to convert on the 3-yard touchdown run by Tate Aljancic.
Put it in the belly of the back and pour it right back out. Scored it himself. 4:36 to go in the half. Our first score.
Aljancic looks like will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Gabe Stouffer.
We'll come on to try the point after.
Good snap, good hold, kick on the way. Plenty of distance over the bleachers and between the uprights. And we have a score finally with 4:36 to go in the first half. On the starter scoreboard, Louisville 7, New Philadelphia nothing. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Louisville will kick it off. They got the fumbled punt down to the 3-yard line and went in on one play. A 3-yard run by Tate Aljancic. On the scoreboard, Dover Green now 14. West Branch leading Canfield 10-0. Hoover 13, Buckdale 6. And we have our first score of this one, and it came after a big special teams play. Aljancic with a nice kick coming down too long inside the 10. A lot of room to run straight up the middle. He had a good opening kickoff return, and he brings this one out to the 38, and a flag comes in very late in the play. So we'll check the flag. He's been able to run the ball straight up the field and not really meet any resistance until he gets out across the 30. Personal foul call here against Louisville. So that will benefit the Quakers. It'll move the ball from their 38 to around the 47 of Louisville. So New Philadelphia gives up the touchdown, but they have an opportunity to get one right back here as they'll start on the Louisville side of the 50 with 4:27 to go in the first half. Remember the Putman Properties halftime show coming up. We'll have news, scores, and we'll analyze the first half. Louisville, again, late getting on the field. The Quakers are lined up, and now the Louisville is going to call a timeout. They have been late getting their defense on the field every time tonight. They just kind of hang around on the sidelines. Nobody sends them out. The officials waving them out. New Philadelphia rushed to the line of scrimmage there, lined up, ready to go, while the Leopards were running out onto the field. And eventually, Chris Kappas calls a timeout. So the Quakers forcing a timeout there from Louisville. Their second.
Yeah, if you're the defense, I mean, you have to be out there ready to go. This is the biggest defensive stand so far of your season. I mean, I know that's very shallow waters, but I mean, that's the truth. This is the biggest defensive stand you got. You got to be out there ready.
So from the Louisville 47 out of the timeout, Keaton Fossil will hand it off up the middle, and nothing doing on the straight ahead run by Peyton Miller. He was wrapped up by Austin Wade, among others, for the Louisville Leopards. They'll put the ball down on the 46, so it's a 1-yard pickup. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Louisville with a 7-0 lead. So a big turnaround in this game from last year for sure. And goes in motion. Fossil fakes the give on the sweep, runs it up the middle, and takes it inside the 45 and down to the 41-yard line. So a pickup of 5, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 here for the Quakers.
Looks like the defense for Louisville made some adjustments. They're playing the QB contain a lot more towards the middle. They'd rather get bit on the end than let the quarterback run it right up the middle and go to the end zone like he has shown he's capable of doing tonight.
Watson out wide to the left. Matthews to the near side, one in the slot. That's DiDonato. He goes in motion. They flip him the ball, trying to go around left end. They had him in the backfield, but he got away. Now they're going to throw him out of bounds near the marker. It looks like it will be a first down on the 36-yard line. They needed 4, and they got 5 on the runaround end by DiDonato, the senior. 5'10" and 170. The Quakers move the chains now with 3:05 to go in the half.
You see that side? They went far side. They faked the quarterback sneak up the middle, a little jet sweep, and they got the first down. But they're not gonna get more than a couple yards on that play, I don't think, especially if they're running towards that side of the field.
Long to the near side. DiDonato inside him. One out wide to the left. Fossil with Miller to his right. Gives it to him up the middle, and he is crunched after a very short gain, maybe a yard on the play. Time Josh Nicholson joining Austin Wade on the tackle for Louisville. 2nd and 9. Clock ticking at 2:48 before halftime. Louisville with a 7-0 lead.
Going to be no rush for the Quakers. Absolutely no rush.
They would love to put it in the end zone with the zeros on the clock. We'll see how they can get closer to that here with a 2nd and 9 on the 35 of Louisville. Fossil now rolling to the near side, being chased, and now there's a huge hole up the middle. He dives ahead, and he's tripped up, and he goes inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. 11-yard pickup, and a nice improvisation there by the quarterback, Keaton Fossil. He had 2 right in his face and was able to elude them and move the chains again.
He's quick. He is really quick. To be able to do that, stop on a dime like he did, right foot into the ground, turn it upfield. It's a beautiful move by a quarterback.
2 out to the near side. 2 tight ends to the left side. 1 back. And Miller gets it, running left, cuts back inside, and again picks up about a yard. We're under 2 minutes to go now in the first half, 1:45. New Philly with 1 timeout left. So it'll be 2nd and 9. Quakers to the line of scrimmage. Still plenty of time on the play clock, now down to 125. Fossil takes the snap. Again, a run. This time it's up the middle, and again, very little yardage as the middle of the Louisville line standing up, stopping the run for another 1 yard gain. And now we're down to 105. And New Philadelphia doesn't appear as though we're looking at a timeout here. Down to a minute. And they're still out on the 22-yard line. And they have a 3rd down and 8. Clock stops momentarily, not sure why.
Well, and they're letting that clock roll, and if they're going to stop the clock because of an equipment issue, and that's what Mike.
And they're resetting the play or the game clock. It was running, and they put it back to 52. So 52 seconds. And a 3rd and 8 for New Philadelphia on the Louisville 22. And it's a run up the middle by Fossil. 15, 10, and he almost got away. He was dragged down by the shirt tail at the 8-yard line, but it'll be a 1st and goal with 41 seconds. Right on the 8-yard line. Clock stops on the 1st down. And it's running again now. And we might have the scenario where they go in with zeros on the clock. They have taken all but the entire time left here in the quarter. Fossil will run it again up the middle over the left side, and he's in for the touchdown. New Philadelphia scores with 19 seconds on the 1st half clock, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
19 seconds to go.
So it will be an extra point attempt coming up to try to tie this one in the final moments of the 1st half, as the Quakers do exactly what they need to do. They were helped by that personal foul penalty on the kickoff that allowed them to start over the 50-yard line, and they methodically took the ball down for a score. Extra point attempt by Cade Jones. Carson Long holding, and the kick is no good. It never got off the ground, or it was blocked, one or the other, so it stays a 7-6 game with 19 seconds to go in the 1st half. We'll keep it here until the halftime, when we'll have the Putman Properties halftime show. Remember to stay tuned at the end of the game for the Paramount Elite Player of the Game. So each team has once been in the RG Drag red zone, and each team has converted in that situation.
And their final possessions of the half. Well, Louisville is going to get one more. We'll see what they do with it, but my guess is they just take it into the halftime. Nice job by New Philly there to run down the field. Perfect time to score.
On the Sardis scoreboard, Buchtel 14, Hoover 13. They're in the last 30 seconds of the half as well. Green and Dover at 14 all at halftime. And getting ready for the kickoff. It will be Cade Jones, who was unsuccessful on the point after attempt to kick it away. One back deep for the Leopards at the 10-yard line. And the ball blows off the tee, or falls off the tee. No wind to speak of here this evening at Leopard Stadium. So now we're ready to go. Jones, a junior, to kick it away. Ball in the air, coming down at the 10-yard line. It is Cooper Rice coming to the near side of the 20, falls forward to the 23-yard line, and that's where the Leopards will start 1st and 10 with 12 seconds to go in the 1st half of a 7-6 game. Louisville with the 1-point advantage. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're right here that they maybe take a knee and take this one to the house and start talking about what's going to happen in the second half. And they are going to line up in the safe formation. Aljancic under center for the first time, takes the snap, takes a knee, and that'll be it for the first half of action. So after 2 quarters of play from Louisville, our score, the Louisville Leopards 7, the New Philadelphia Quakers 6. Stay tuned. Coming up next is the Putman Properties halftime. We'll have news for you. We'll have scores and other information for you coming up during the halftime break. So stay tuned for that. 7-6 Louisville at halftime. We'll take a timeout right now. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep,
I said she
Friendly, no pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at Sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
When it comes to heating and cooling your home, quality always takes precedence. Being warm in the winter and cool during the summer are necessary for Ohio's extreme weather. At Harding Heating and Cooling, they recognize your needs and hope to bring comfort to your home. They are the Rheem Pro dealer for the Alliance area. Serving the area since 1975, Harding Heating and Cooling does everything for your comfort. With transparent pricing, 24/7 emergency services, comfort is just a phone call away at 330-823-8461. Visit Harding Heating and Cooling online at hardingheating.com.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
All right, we're back at Louisville, where the Leopards lead at halftime over the New Philadelphia Quakers, 7-6. This is the Putman Properties halftime show. And high school football brought to you all season long by the Sarshone Auto Group. We appreciate them and all of our fine sponsors. Brian Beatty is with us. Brian is a mainstay here in Louisville. Everybody knows Brian Beatty in Louisville. And hopefully we'll get to know him a little bit better here on Q92. He's in here for a moment just to maybe take a look at that first half and just a short bit of analysis about what you saw. And I guess you were thinking that this was going to be a low-scoring, close to the vest game.
Yeah, I think a lot of power football you saw on both sides of the ball. A lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes, especially on the New Philly side that cost them some big plays. But you expect that on week one, you have those opportunities or missed opportunities, I guess you can say. But yeah, both teams are running the ball, controlling the ball with a quick first half. Once again, in these low-scoring games, turnovers are everything, and it was a huge one on that punt. So, and Louisville took the opportunity and got in the end zone. So, and then New Philly came back and had a great drive. Once again, was kind of set up, like you said, with a penalty that face mask 15 yards, got them in good field position, and they capitalized. So.
I don't guess you would think you'd see much of difference in the second half. Do you see any adjustments that either team might make?
No, I about the same thing. I think New Philly maybe has a little bit more of an opportunity to maybe throw the ball downfield, maybe to set them up. But the counter and the power run working for you, there's no reason to stop running. And they are a very talented group up front, led by number 65, the tackle. So he's an elite player. So I don't know if it was 65.
They don't have a 65 on the roster there.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably why.
Welcome to radio.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't do my studying well enough.
Well, when they don't tell us the guy's name, we can't really be expected to know it.
There you go.
But you've noticed him taking people out of bounds and eliminating them from the play. So you're kind of following him as to where the play is going to go.
Yeah, they're either misdirection up front. They're either pulling him, and he'll lead on the power, or he'll clean up the backside on the counter. So and then they'll run that jet guy around the end with that little shuffle pass. So and kind of keeps Louisville, they're matching up well, but they've had a couple of big plays on that.
All right, well, let's see. Let's send it down to the field as the Louisville Leopards band is performing right now. So let's see what they have.
Oh my God! Guess what? more covers for him.
The Louisville Marching Band at halftime here at Louisville. The Leopards leading the Quakers 7-6 on the Sardis scoreboard. And a close to the vest and close game. No idea what's going to happen in the second half, and we'll check out the second half and try to check out the Sardis scoreboard here as we get the chance. The games that we have tonight, all very close. Let's see if I can refresh the scores and get the latest. Of course, last night, Canton McKinley a winner over Warren Harding. And Fairless defeating Sandy Valley, and Perry beating Central last night. And the game that we had for you here on Q92. All right. Lake and McKeesport from Western Pennsylvania, 21-all. They're in the fourth quarter. They're playing in a festival of games in Western Pennsylvania this weekend. Also at halftime, Smithville on top of Tuslaw by a score of 10-0. Northwest leading Norton 12-0. Mentor with a 14-13 lead on Jackson. Buchtel with a 14-13 lead at Hoover. Parma Padua leading Alliance 20-6. Toronto on top of East Canton 35-0 at halftime. Same score with Villa Angela, St. Joseph, and Glen Oak. The Golden Eagles trailing 35-0 in that one. Cleveland Benedictine leading Canton South 12-0. No score in on Marlington at Warrensville Heights. United leading Minerva 13-0. And Campbell Memorial on top of St. Thomas Aquinas right now by a score of 15-0. Two teams out here this evening. New Philadelphia and Louisville. Louisville next week, it will be Alliance. They will be here. Anfield, home for Green, home for Strange, and at Worcester. A much, I don't know if we'll say easier schedule, but maybe more manageable schedule. The teams that dropped off from last year, Lake Perry and Glen Oak, replaced by Alliance, Marlington, and Worcester. Also, Central moves in there instead of Steubenville, so maybe a little more manageable schedule for the Louisville Leopards. For New Philadelphia, they're a member of the Ohio Cardinal Conference. They were 6-5 last season. Their losses were at Steubenville, Mansfield Senior, which won the conference, West Holmes, which was second in the conference. They lost that game 9-8. And they lost at Dover in the rivalry game, 20-13, and then they lost at Ursuline in the playoffs. So all of their losses last year were against high-quality teams. After tonight, New Philly will be home for Steubenville next week. Then they'll be at Worcester, at Ashland, Mansfield Senior at home. They'll have Lindsley, West Virginia, out of conference on September 27th. Then they will have Mansfield, Madison, and Lexington at home, at West Holmes, and then the finale, the oldest rivalry in Ohio high school football, against the Dover Tornadoes, which have had the upper hand in that rivalry over the past few seasons. See if we can find some other scores for you. St. Clairsville leading Norwayne 7-0. Copley 12, Amherst 7. Hillsdale on top of Black River 23-0. Claymont 10, Harrison Central 6. We brought you the McKeesport Lake score 21. Let's see, what did we have on that one? I lost track. Well, Lake giving them a game. I do know that. So that's the scores we have for you right now. Team's not back on the field yet, but the band show has concluded, and Louisville with a 7-6 lead at the halftime break on the Putman Property halftime show. We'll come back and we'll have second half action for you and see what's the latest on the scores in just a moment. But it's 7-6 for Louisville. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Congratulations to this month's SARTA Sensations. We salute Sensational Maintenance Supervisor Bill Mercer, who ensures SARTA has enough buses inspected and cleaned each morning. We salute our sensational administrator, John Michaels, who improves our processes and trains others the proper storage of SARTA records. We salute sensational rider Kevin, who gets where he needs to go, from shopping and dining to appointments. Way to go, Kevin. Learn more at SARTAsensations.com.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
The Quakers of New Philadelphia have appeared back out on the field, and they're starting their warm-ups. And Louisville down to our right, still huddled up. In case you missed it, on the opening kickoff tonight, a Louisville player was injured. That was Wyatt Smith. And he was kept down on the field for a good while. And eventually they came out with the gurney and took him to the ambulance and took him away. We were told that he was knocked out for a short time, but they stabilized him. He was pretty quickly, he was moving around, moving his legs. And so he looked to be at least okay that way as they took him to the hospital to get checked out. But hopefully a good result for Wyatt Smith, who we're told is a very good wrestler. And not what you want to see on the first play of the season. You don't want to ever see it. That kind of took some of the steam out of the beginning of this game, the long delay for the injury. But as we come back, Ryan Bevere has rejoined us. And we talked to Brian Beatty there at halftime, and he said he wasn't really surprised that especially Louisville has been so close to the vest offensively, and he thought maybe New Philadelphia had more of the potential for a big play in the second half. But what do you see? It's kind of hard to judge a game like this because really neither team has been able to establish anything. And the Louisville score came after they recovered a fumble on the 3-yard line. And for New Philly, they scored on about a 45-yard drive there at the end of the half.
I was fooled, Clint. I was watching pregame. These offenses are 5 wide. They're empty set. They're airing the ball out. They're throwing it all over the yard. And we did not see that in the first half. Nowhere close. I mean, it was just run the ball to the side, run the ball up the middle. And, I mean, we're lucky to even have 14 points on or 13 points, on the scoreboard. But, no, I would like to see that in the second half. I mean, neither team was really able to get anything going with the ground game. Why not air it out? Why not try it?
Well, you have a very experienced quarterback on the New Philadelphia side in Keaton Fossil. This is his third year as a starter. On the other side of the field, Tate Aljancic starting his first game as a varsity quarterback. He was very successful on the JV team last year with 7 victories and coming up to a varsity team that had only 1 victory last year. So a lot of people expecting big things this year with the people that were back and some of the additions. I guess I can understand a coach not wanting to put that new quarterback, put the whole thing on his back at the start of the game. We'll see if that changes a little bit. Also, what I've been told and figured out, Chris Kappas, of course, as a college defensive coordinator, both at Mount Union and at Austin Peay, he's going to be thinking defense. So defense, field position, that kind of thing, and it's been that kind of game tonight.
Been inside the 30s, like we said in the first half, outside of the 2 touchdowns that we saw late in the second quarter.
New Philadelphia kicking off. Kay Jones will do the honors. Ball teed up on the 40, and he sends it high and short to the far side of the field. It's going to be taken on the 25-yard line. Here comes Gabe Stauffer trying to cross the field, but he's not able to do it. They got him pretty quickly on the 26. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Louisville. Don't know, but this is close to their poorest starting field position, starting actually just outside their 25-yard line. 7-6 for Louisville. West Branch over Canfield at halftime, 13-0 on the Sardis scoreboard. And Louisville out there on offense with the Carolina blue jerseys and the white pants, white helmets. New Philly in the white jerseys and pants, red and black numbers and trim. On first down, they run the sweep to the near side, and here comes Owen DiMarzio around the corner. A New Philadelphia player loses his helmet at the 31, 32-yard line. That is Brody Gilland. He'll have to go out for a play.
2 helmets.
2 helmets go off, one for each side. So to the 31 he goes. So that's a 5-yard pickup on first down for the junior, Owen DiMarzio. Missed much of last year with an injury, but they're hoping for big things from him this season. They'll send trips out far side left. One to the near side. Aljancic just pushes a pass out to the left side. Receiver turns it upfield and goes to the 35-yard line for a pickup of about 3 or 4. That is Jake Palmier. So it'll be 3rd and 1. So we saw quite a few of these in the first half for both teams. We'll see if Louisville is able to convert this time in their own territory on the first possession of the second half.
Let's see if they try to run the ball right up the middle like they've done almost every time they've had it. 3rd or 4th and short outside of punting.
Tight formation, and they will go straight up the middle. And I don't know if he made it. I don't think he did. I don't think he made it. They're going to spot him just over the 35. So basically no gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down and less than a yard, and the punt team comes out for Louisville. So the Leopards unable to convert a first down. And another tackle in the middle of the field for Boston Crowell. Nobody on the Louisville line has been able to handle him tonight. So the punt here from Gabe Stauffer. Waiting for the ball back on his 22. Has time, gets the kick away. Tumbling kick down the middle of the field, takes a sideways bounce and stops like a pitching wedge at about the New Philadelphia 38-yard line. So 27 on the punt and no return. And the Quakers, who scored on their last possession of the first half, will take over 1st and 10 on the 38. We are almost 2 minutes into this third quarter. Remember to stay tuned at the end of the game for the Paramount Elite Player of the Game. 1st and 10 for New Philadelphia with Keaton Fossil, the senior quarterback. Looks like he has a new running back in there. Peyton Miller got the majority of the carries in the first half, and now we have movement on the line. And it's going to be a penalty against the Quakers, so they'll move back 5 on the false start. Not the way you want to start the second half. You had all that time to get ready for your first possession, and somebody just a little antsy.
Stole the words right out of my mouth, Clint. That's not what you want to do. There's been no flow this evening at all. Let's see if we can find some.
From the 33 now, 1st and 15. And goes in motion to the right. That's Carlisle. Snap back, handoff up the middle, and a collision right at the 34-yard line. Ball carrier is Colston Fox, a sophomore at 5'9" and 155. He took it straight ahead for 4 yards to the 37. So it'll be 2nd and 11.
See if you can get the quarterback to move his legs a little bit, try to make a play for the offense here.
Trips to the near side, one out to the right. One back. Fox is the running back, and it's Faso looking deep down the middle, puts it up for grabs, and it's knocked away in the middle of the field by Gabe Stauffer, the junior, just playing center field. That pass was lofted down the middle for Carson Long, but batted away. Stauffer was not the man in coverage. He was just coming over from the other side.
Yeah, and I think Carson Long got up and was looking all over for the penalty because he thought there was clear pass interference. He must not have seen the ball being deflected because that gives the defender the okay to then bring them to the ground.
Tight end Jackson Norris sets up on the left side. They go 2 out to the right, 1 to the near side, which is Carter Watson on 3rd and 11. Fossil back to throw. Swings it far side, and it's batted down and incomplete by the big man on the end, Trevor Burek, 6'4" and 270, a sophomore. And now we have a flag after the play. There's a Quaker player down on the far sideline. Now he's helped up. Now let's check this flag that came down long after the play.
How many times have you heard that over the years? Burek.
There are a lot of familiar names on this Louisville team between Burek and Palmier and Seaman and Doherty, Candle, Eljancic.
It is a close-knit community.
Elsas.
The Ville.
Bevere.
Maybe one day.
Punting time for New Philly on 4th and 11. Good snap, no rush, line drive kick, and it's going to be over Stauffer's head, and it's going to bounce inside the 20, inside the 10, and then he's going to have to let it go, and it'll be down on the 5-yard line. 58-yard punt. He just creamed it right over the head of the receiver who tried to go back and get it, but it took a great bounce as well. And the Leopards now pinned back on their own 6-yard line with 9:09 to go in the third on the SARTA scoreboard. And Louisville up 7-6 in a dangerous spot to be in with a 1-point lead.
Maybe the biggest offensive play of the night came off a punt.
Well, that completely changed the field position, flipped the field, as you say. So Louisville will have to be careful down here on their 6. Of course, they've been running the ball up the middle no matter where they've been on the field, so you wouldn't expect much different here. They bring 2 receivers, now 3 to the near side of the field, 1 out to the left and 1 back by Tate Eljancic, the senior quarterback. Rush off the edge. He throws it to the near side, taken by Stauffer, trying to get a block, gets just to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. They had the tight end out there, Austin Wade, trying to set a block, but the pursuit was too good, and that'll be basically no gain on the play. So a completed pass, but it really doesn't help Louisville offensively. It'll be 2nd and 10. 8:40 to go in the third, 7-6 our score. The team scoring on each of their final possessions of the first half. This time they go trips to the far left side and 1 to the near side. Eljancic in the pistol all night long. Gives it to his man sweeping the end, DiMarzio, and he runs through a tackle in the backfield and gets it out with a decent gain across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. So that'll be about a 6-yard pickup, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 here for the Leopards. On a perfect night for football. Last year on opening weekend, especially on the Thursday night, we had storms, which delayed everybody, but the weather has not been an issue so far in the first 2 nights of high school football. Thanks, Mark Johnson.
Yes, thank you.
Mark J. Weather. Getting it done. Wide out to each side, double wing to the right, and a flag. Nope, a timeout. Timeout for Louisville. With 7:36 left in the third, they lead at 7-6 on the Sardis scoreboard. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
RG Drag, Star County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
All right, Louisville with a third down and a long 3, short 4 from their own 12-yard line on the Sardis scoreboard. Menor 20, Jackson 13. And here it's 7-6 for Louisville, and deep in their own territory here. New Philadelphia looking to press as the direct snap comes back to Stauffer, and he's trying to run to the right, and he's going to be stopped for a loss. So the Quakers pursuit again, doing the job.
And they've won the field position. They're going to get excellent field position after this punt.
Last man off the field was Vincent Magoni Jr., who was a very active linebacker for New Philadelphia. Now the Leopards are going to have to punt out of the end zone. The punting game has been hit and miss for both teams so far tonight. The returner Long is standing on the Louisville 39-yard line, so he's not expecting a long kick. Snap nearly gets over the head of the kicker, and here it is, a low line drive, a tail dragger, and it's going to take a great Louisville bounce out to the 49, the 50-yard line. So it was nearly a bad snap, ended up being a 42-yard punt, and the Quakers will take over right at midfield.
He kicked that at the back of the end zone, almost went over his head, was almost a disaster, and somehow, some way, that beautiful, I mean, we thought, 30-yard line for the Quakers? They're going to set up shop at the 50, basically where they've been all night long. So if you're Louisville, no reason to panic. You've done this a number of times tonight.
They come back in with Colston Fox, the sophomore, at the running back position behind Keaton Fossil. They have Pete DiDonato as the wing to the near side left. They have a receiver each way. Man late getting on from the far side of the field. Vincent Magoni, who we mentioned his defensive play, he's going to line up as a wing to the right next to the tight end. Still 8 on the play clock, and here they go with Donato on the jet sweep to the right, trying to get to the corner, and he's going to be flung out of bounds on a great play by Colton Loy for Louisville, who grabbed him about 2 yards from the sideline and just threw him into the New Philadelphia bench on the far side, and a pickup of only a couple for Pete DiDonato. Set up a 2nd and 8, 6:13 clock running. Third quarter on the Sardis scoreboard, 7-6 for Louisville. Again, they set up with the tight end right and a wing right behind him. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle to Fox to the 45. They're trying to push him forward. They're pushing him backward. He eventually ends up down on the Louisville 43, maybe the 44. And let's see where they put the ball down. It'll be on the 44. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Quakers. Starting on the 50-yard line here, trying to overcome this 1-point deficit. Each team with 1 touchdown, but New Philly's extra point was unsuccessful. Receiver split right, 2 wide near side. And it's going to be the quarterback. Fossil up the middle, and he's not going anywhere. He's wrapped up by 44, Jake Galbraith, 6'1", 200, and a senior with the bear hug on the quarterback, not letting him go anywhere. And New Philadelphia looks like are going to play the field position game here with the punt from the Louisville 44.
upperclassmen leading the way.
Brody Gillen will punt it. And again, it will be Stauffer back to receive, standing on his 16. I don't know if that's back far enough. After the last punt, here comes the rush, the kick away, and he drives it to the near side of the field, and it takes a left turn out of bounds on the 12-yard line. So 32 on the punt, and Louisville again deep in their own territory to start this possession with 4:34 now to go in the third. 7-6 for Louisville.
We did not see a lot of good punts in the first half, but both punts that we've seen here have been dandies. Good job by Louisville right there. That was scary. That was a very dicey situation, punting out of your own end zone, and somehow, some way, you come out unscathed with the football right where you had it.
All right, on 1st and 10 from their 12-yard line. 2 wide out to the left, 1 to the near side, and it is going to be a loss again, as again getting into the backfield is Boston Crowell, and he just ripped Owen DiMarzio to the ground as soon as he got the ball. They tried to sweep it to the left side, the far side of the field, and that's going to be a 5-yard loss on 1st down, as Boston Crowell, 6'5" and 275, the senior, wreaking havoc on the Louisville offense, especially in the last 2 quarters. We've called his name quite a bit. Two out to the left, 2 near side. And Aljancic will throw it near side and too high. He had a man at the 15-yard line. They were way off the intended receiver, which was Cooper Rice, but the pass was too high and incomplete. So a missed opportunity there. And Louisville now with a 3rd down and 15 on their own 7-yard line.
It doesn't look like we're going to see him air it out tonight, Clint.
We're running out of time for that.
Yeah.
Might only be in a desperation mode later on, but we'll see. This would not seem to be, although you got plenty of field to get somebody behind a defender here from your own 7, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Another quick throw out to the left is going to be stopped by a flag, and I think Louisville going to be called for a false start. Take my word for it.
Half the distance to the goal. Put that down at about 3.5.
Hard to do what you just did, and now you're asking to do it again because you're backed up inside your 5.
On the starter scoreboard, Northwest now over Norton 19-7 in the 3rd quarter. So good night for the Northwest Indians. Lake and McKeesport tied at 21 in the 4th. And it's going to be a run right up the middle, a little bit of a seam, but it's closed up quickly as the ball carrier gets out to about the 9-yard line. Tackle on the play by Keaton Fossil, the quarterback, among others. Ball carrier was Owen DiMarzio. And it'll be 4th down, and that big 5-yard loss on 1st down basically ended any chance there for Louisville. So a punt here from Stauffer, again standing about 5 yards deep in the end zone, takes the snap, has time, gets the kick away. It's a high one, and it's going to bounce on the near side, and it's going to, again, take a Louisville bounce to the 40, to the 50, and into Quaker territory on the 46-yard line. 45 on the punt that time, and I've been with people who it drives them nuts when teams only put one man back to field punts because he can't cover the entire field, and that's what happened there. Long couldn't get over to field that punt, and the bounce cost his team about 15 yards.
It's a good point. But, I mean, deja vu, right? Didn't we just see this? The time just rewind itself. We just saw the same thing transpire about 5 minutes ago.
They're about 5 yards back from where they were last time, but yes, very similar for the Quakers on their own 45 with a 1st and 10. late third quarter as Fossil rolls to his right, still rolling, looks far side, and the catch is made along the sideline. It's going to be called incomplete, intended for DiDonato. Looked like maybe he was juggling the ball as he went out of bounds over there, and he slid into the actual bench, the physical bench on the far side of the field, and is still down on the sideline. Play will continue, I believe, as he is 4 or 5 yards off the field of play. Now he's up on his feet over there. Fossil just waited maybe a beat too long to throw that ball there, and the receiver was too close to the sideline. So 2nd and 10, one back, and it's Fox up the middle with a seam to the 50. Cuts to the near side, 45. Great cut to the 40. Near side, 30. Out of bounds at the 11-yard line. The sophomore Colston Fox from his own 45 to the Louisville 11-yard line. So 44 yards and a 1st and 10 for New Philadelphia in the RG Drag red zone as they look to take the lead. They trail 7-6 with 2:36 left in the third.
They've dominated field position the entire third quarter. It'd be a shame if they didn't get the lead here.
Fox again in the backfield behind his quarterback. Fossil is in the pistol, 3 receivers, and Fossil this time going to run it himself to the right side with his back as the lead blocker. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown. 11-yard touchdown run for Keaton Fossil. He had one called back in the first half, but this one looks like it's going to stand, and the New Philadelphia Quakers have taken the lead.
Good news for Louisville. You got a chance to get that field position back because, I mean, they have been backed up inside their own 5-yard line. And when you punt from your own end zone, you're giving New Philly excellent field position. It was only a matter of time before they got in for 6.
It looks like the Quakers are going to go for 2 here, leading 12-7 with 2.5 to go in the third quarter. And Fossil will have his offense out there. He has a back on either side of him. They have a wing to the left, tight end right. No wide receivers, and Fossil will run it himself up the middle, but Louisville is going to stop him well short of the goal line. That one did not have a chance. So with 2:27 to go in the third on the Sardis scoreboard, it's now Quakers 12, Leopards 7. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
By choosing Life Care Family Health and Dental in Canton as your medical home, you'll have access to a variety of integrated health services, including dental, vision, women's health, children's health, and behavioral health. Life Care's goal is to provide comprehensive and coordinated medical care to maximize health outcomes for you and your family. If you are sick, we have same-day appointments for our current patient. For information on how to become a new patient, visit lifecareFHOC.org. At Life Care Family Health and Dental, you will never get turned away.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
On the Sardis scoreboard, it's now New Philadelphia 12 and Louisville 7. Also tonight, Parma Padua leading Alliance 26-6 in the third. Northwest 19, Norton 7. Last score we had was Menor over Jackson 20-13. Let's see what else we have. Lake has won tonight at McKeesport. Lake wins 36-35. And here's the kickoff by New Philadelphia to the far side. It's taken on the 12-yard line out to the 20. Far sideline, 25-30, and out to the 37-yard line. Nice return, and Louisville will have very good field position to start this time out, their best of the half. As Menor now takes a 26-13 lead on Jackson on the Sardis scoreboard on a touchdown pass. So the ball will be on the 37-yard line. Louisville has not shown too much offensively. Their only touchdown came after they recovered a fumbled punt and ran it to the 3-yard line and scored on the next play. They've had some successful plays, but they've not been able to establish anything behind their senior quarterback, Tate Aljancic. They have not really thrown the ball down the field at all. And we'll see if they do here. One back, three receivers. Nope, run up the middle, and DiMarzio shooting up the field, and he's upended as he gets to the 42-43 yard line. And an injured New Philadelphia player on the field at the 41. And our first cramp of the night. So we have one New Philly player down and actually the ball carrier, DiMarzio, he's going to go down as well with a cramp. So, dude, you got to turn over. There you go. Yeah. Trying to stretch out his cramp, and he turned over on his stomach. You can't stretch it out that way. So we have injured players on either side for the Quakers. Looks like maybe DiDonato going out. See, so many players going both ways. And a warm evening turning into a cooler night. So it's not surprising to see this kind of thing first couple of weeks of the season. 2:08 left in the third. And DiMarzio still down on the field. Not sure what that action is by the trainer. I've not seen that on a football field before, with actually the player on his stomach, and now he's up and coming off to the near side, but he's going to come out for a play or two, it looks like. Well, he'll have to, since they stopped the game for him. So it'll be 2nd and 5 now for the Leopards from their 43, 2:08 left in the third. They trail now 12-7, first time trailing in the game tonight. Actually, it's 2nd down and 4. And it will be two receivers near side, wing left, and a running back to the right of the quarterback. And he gets the ball, and he gets tackled in the backfield. No chance on that one. And guess who? Boston Crowell into the backfield again for another tackle for loss. He has been public enemy number 1 for this Louisville offense tonight, as he has really dominated. And can't really tell if they're trying different things with him, if they're doubling him, if they're whatever they're doing, it isn't working.
I don't know what you can do with him. I mean, he sticks out like a sore thumb. He's the biggest guy on the field. He is elite.
And playing right over the nose here on 3rd down and 6. Rolling right, and there's Crowell into the backfield. Nobody blocked him, and he just went right into the backfield and hit Aljancic as he threw the ball, and it's incomplete. And it's going to be 4th down. So they got 5 yards on 1st down and -1 on the next 2 plays, and Louisville again will have to kick it away. So 58 seconds to go in the third, and this quarter dominated completely by New Philadelphia, and they're going to get the ball back here late in this quarter after the punt from Gabe Stauffer Jr., who has been mainly out there on defense. Seen a few plays on offense and has been the punter all night. Gets this kick away again, a low line drive near side. Takes the good bounce for Louisville, and it's going to go out of bounds on the 28-yard line. 31 yards on the punt, no return. And New Philadelphia will not start at midfield. They will start on their own 28 with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Jackson with a fumble in their own end zone, recovered by Mentor for a touchdown. So it's now 33-13 for the Cardinals on the Sardis scoreboard. Still Bucktown leading Hoover 14-13, Northwest 19, Norton 7. Smithville up on Tuslaw 10-0 on the Sardis scoreboard. Keaton Fossil will hand it off to Fox. Off tackle to the right. Takes it across the 30 and out to around the 33-yard line. So a nice 5-yard gain on 1st down. And they've gotten a little spark in the running game here from the sophomore Colston Fox in the second half. He had the big run that led to the touchdown, but he's just been maybe a step quicker than the Leopards have been used to tonight.
I mean, everything is, talk about being used to. Everything is just flip-flopped from, last matchup, like you said in the first half, which was a high-scoring affair. We're not getting that tonight.
2 to the right, 1 to the left, and a give up the middle. Fox this time he is stuffed. And nothing going on in the middle of the line. The tackle for Louisville by Tyler Davis, senior linebacker. And that will be the end of the third quarter. So after 3 from Louisville on the Sardis scoreboard, it's New Philadelphia 12 and Louisville 7. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
First play of the fourth quarter is a pass over the middle, and it's off the hands of Carson Long for New Philadelphia and almost intercepted by Louisville at midfield. That was a 3rd and 5 play, and now it'll be 4th down, actually 4th and 4. So the first play of the fourth quarter, nearly a big play for Louisville, but they will force the punt here. And they'll get the ball, should get it in decent field position after the kick by Brody Gilland. Good snap, time to get it away, and he gets off a nice one, a high punt, fair catch, taken on the 34-yard line. So 32 on the punt and no return. And Louisville will have it 1st and 10 on their 35. Just underway in the fourth quarter. Clint Scroggs and Ryan Bevere from Louisville.
How do you like it out here? How do you like the Ville?
Well, I've been here before for games, usually much later in the season. I think this is my first time here before October or November. But great facility. And like the old ballparks of years ago, right in the middle of all the houses. We're just in the neighborhood. And great facility and a good game tonight between two teams that are trying to improve on what they did last year. First down, it's DiMarzio up the middle, takes it to the 40 and out across the 40-yard line, or maybe another half yard. First down has not been a problem tonight for Louisville. They've been able to get 4, 5, 6 yards
every
on
time.
First down. It's been the next two that's been the problem.
Yeah, that's why, at some point, and with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, I don't know when that time is, but at some point, you're just going to have to try to catch them off guard and run play action and just try to beat the defender. Down the field, air it out.
I'll have 2 wide to the right, 1 to the near side. Tight end will switch over to the left as a wing, and they'll hand it off up the middle. DiMarzio grabbed by the waist at the 42 and goes down at the 43. That's going to be a pickup of about 3, and one of the New Philadelphia players dealing with a cramp. I see this every year, and it bothers me every year that we haven't figured out as a society how to stop players from getting cramps the first couple of weeks of the season. But you can almost set your watch by it if you wore a watch. And you do, actually, don't you? Yes, you
Yeah.
do. But it's almost guaranteed, especially in the second half. They go into the locker room, they get warm, they come back out, and starting sometimes even early in the third quarter. Here it's starting late in the third quarter, but we're having players now starting to go down with cramps. That's Brody Gilland, who is up and going off the field. So it will be after that run by DiMarzio, 3rd and 2. We haven't seen Colton Loy carrying the ball in the second half. It's been DiMarzio just about exclusively. Here's a 3rd down and short. Quarterback run up the middle. First down, Aljancic into the secondary. And inside the 45 and down to the New Philly 42-yard line. 15 yards on the run right up the middle by the quarterback. And Louisville over the 50 for the first time in the second half.
It's a good run. Good run by the quarterback. Faked everybody, including me.
Well, that time they didn't go with the play action leading to a pass. They went with the play action leading to the quarterback run. And it worked very well. So this time 2 out to the right, 1 to the near side. Wade, the tight end, sets up behind the right guard. And they give it to DiMarzio around right end, and he has hit and dropped for a loss. And it's going to be a big loss. 5 yards, maybe 6. Back to around the 48. DiMarzio slow to get up. He took a hit pretty low on that play. They'll spot him on the 47. So that is -5 on first down. We're at 9:45 to go in the fourth quarter. New Philadelphia leading Louisville 12-7. The Leopards' only score tonight came after they recovered a fumble on the Quakers' 3-yard line. Scored in the next play, so they have not had a sustained drive for a score tonight. Aljancic takes the snap, back to throw, far side, throws it low, and a diving attempt and a catch down on the 35-yard line by Quinn Burek, the junior. That's going to leave them a couple of yards short of the first down. Actually, they'll be short by 3 yards with the ball right on the 35-yard line.
Keep throwing it. Keep throwing it. Maybe not this one. 3rd down and short. I would run it here. Play this. I mean, this is an obvious 4-down territory. So you got 2 chances to run the ball here.
They bring in Colton Loy with the play from the near sideline. 8 on the play clock, and Louisville up against it right here. They come to the line of scrimmage with 4, with 3, with 2. And it seems to happen all the time. They call a timeout even though the team got the snap off right at the same time. They snapped the ball with 1 on the play clock just as the coach was calling a timeout. So 8:35 left, and Quakers up 12-7 on the Sardis scoreboard.
You got to save as much timeouts as you can in the second half. It's an old Madden trick. You have to save those 3 timeouts in the second half just in case you need to stop the clock. If you get down into a situation late in the game, 2 minutes to go, you need to stop the clock on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down if you're on defense, and you just gave up one of them. I'm not a fan of that timeout.
And that's an unforced error. You got to get your play in. You got to get everybody lined up. They broke the huddle with 9 on the play clock, and that's not acceptable.
And we've seen that from Louisville multiple times tonight where it just seems like they're not on the same page.
They go with 3 out to the right, tight end to the left. Now Loy comes to the near side in motion, and they'll hand it off running left. And let's see. He's not going to have the first down. They'll spot him on the 34, so he picked up 1, and that'll bring up a 4th down and about 2 as we're at 8:20 to go in the fourth. Quakers 12, Leopards 7. Smithville leading Tuslaw on the Sardis scoreboard, 16-0 in the fourth. Northwest 26, Norton 7. Marlington 14, Warrensville Heights 6. Don't forget the Paramount Elite Player of the Game coming up at the conclusion of this one tonight. 1 out to the right. And now 2 to the left for Louisville. 8 on the play clock as they are lined up. And they run the Wildcat snap back to Stauffer, and he's going to go backwards. And Louisville unable to move the ball. They had a 4th and 2, and they brought in Stauffer to take the Wildcat snap as another player is down. And that's a new Philadelphia player. Let's see what that injury is.
Not good.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that play call in that situation with.
I mean, you haven't
short, and
you haven't done that all night long. We haven't seen that once tonight. To try to pull that out when the offense, it's not like they've been getting anything they want. And they say, they're not the Chiefs. They can't just say, let's try this and see if this will work. We know it will. I mean, the offense, to be fair, has just been not there for Louisville. There's been no rhythm, really no success. So to try that in that spot, I don't know.
Quakers ball on their 40, 1st and 10. Let's see if they can run some clock here, but that run up the middle goes nowhere. They might give them a yard after they unpile. Colston Fox on the carry. We're at 7:25. Clock running. New Philly up 12-7. Next week, Louisville will take on Alliance, and New Philly will have Steubenville. So a tough matchup for them. 2nd and 9. Carlisle goes in motion. Snap back to Fossil. He keeps up the middle, 45, 50-yard line. He's going to fall right at the marker. Let's see if they give him the first down. And I believe they will. They'll put the ball right on the 50, and that is enough for a Quakers first down at the 6:48 mark. So the ball right on the 50. Louisville scored late in the second quarter on a 3-yard run by Tate Aljancic. Went back the other way. New Philly scoring in the final seconds of the first half. Missed the extra point, trailed 7-6 at the half, but they've scored here in the second half to take the lead. Here is Fossil running right and spins off a tackle and goes ahead for about 3 or 4 yards. Brought down by Jacob Galbraith after about a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6, and now the Quakers can play the beat the clock game. They have the ball. They're at 6 minutes and with an opportunity to maybe put this one away with a score here.
And Louisville, obviously, they're going to need a defensive stand to get one more crack on offense.
And way wide out to the left. That's long. Slot left as they go with the handoff up the middle. And again, the Louisville defense stout in the middle. 75, Josh Nicholson at 255. Could not be moved out of the way, so he makes the stop. He'll now come out of the game, replaced by Aiden Norris, who comes in at 6'7" and 290. So he'll play in the middle. On this 3rd and 6 play, and every time you run one of those, that takes close to a minute off the clock. Two out to the left, one to the near side, and one in the slot. One back. And it's going to be a throw. Fossil swings it out left side. Fox has it. Breaks a tackle to the 40 to the 39. He's going to go down there. Now they pull the ball out. It's loose. And Louisville says they have the ball, and it looks like they do. As Fox was fighting for extra yardage, somebody ripped the ball out, and it went back down the field. And Louisville, if this stands, is going to have a recovery, and the ball at the 45-yard line of New Philadelphia with 4:48 to go.
Wowee, what a change of events. A drastic turn of events. You can't have that. You just can't have that if you're the Quakers. All you need to do is keep the ball, possess the ball, run the ball, and eat that clock. And Louisville is not going to have any answers the rest of the night. Now you got to put the work on the defense to get one more stop.
Colston Fox, the sophomore, he had the first down there, but he kept battling and battling for more yardage. And somebody pulled the ball out. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Leopards on the Quakers' 45-yard line with 4:48 to go. 12-7, New Philly in the lead. And they'll run it up the middle with DiMarzio, and he gets a couple. So 2nd and 8. That's one of their least successful first down plays of the night. They'll bring in Loy with a play from the near side. Clock running, 4:20 to go. Louisville, one play could do it for them tonight if they can pull something out. 2 receivers out to the right. Tight end left, wing left, one back. And Aljancic hands it off, and nothing there for DiMarzio. Going to be stopped right around the line of scrimmage. As again, the Leopards keeping the ball on the ground and not showing any variety whatsoever on offense. Actually, a loss of a yard on the play, and it's 3rd and 9. As we're at 3:45 now. Clock continuing to run on the Sardis scoreboard, 12-7.
Well, no need to rush. No need to have a sense of urgency. Seriously, I mean, this is it. This is your last offensive drive, so you might as well make it a good one.
Back to the right of the quarterback. Aljancic going to roll to the right. Going to throw and into a crowd and incomplete. There was one receiver and 3 defenders down there. Closest man to the pass was Carson Long, the defensive back for New Philadelphia, and with 3:20 and 2 scoreboard says 1 timeout remaining. The Leopards send in the punt team. So they get the ball on the fumble on the 45. They run it up the middle twice and then throw an incomplete pass and punt.
I mean, I get it. You're trying to flip the field, try to possibly create a turnover. This is how they scored their only touchdown, so maybe that's the method. I just don't agree with punting here.
Plenty of time to kick it, and it's a terrible kick off to the right. Gets a good bounce, and, well, is that ball going to stay in bounds all the way? No, they're going to mark it out of bounds on the 25-yard line. So that's an 18-yard punt. And the Quakers, again, will have the football. They just had it a couple of minutes ago. Now they get it back with 3:10 to go, leading 12-7.
The mindset there has to be we're playing for a turnover. Has to be, because, I can't come up with any explanation. You got one more play to get a first down. You forfeit it to get 18 yards in field position. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, obviously, you're not predicting an 18-yard punt.
Right.
But
also, it seems to me that just shows a complete lack of confidence in your offense as well, to not be able to pick up or to not be able to run something different in that situation offensively. They run, oh my goodness, there's a big collision as the quarterback, Fossil, running to the left. Play was kind of held up. He was looking for a hole, and somebody came in from the defensive secondary and just laid him out for a 1-yard gain, but clock running, 2:48 to go. And the Quakers up 12-7 on the Sardis scoreboard. Going back to that possession, it just doesn't show a lot of confidence in your offense to do anything other than run the ball up the middle. Sometimes you need to take a chance, and they were not willing to do that and went nowhere on that possession. From the 26, 2nd and 9. Fossil running again up the middle, and he's got room, and he's got a first down out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. That's a 10-yard pickup on 2nd and 9. And the Quakers will have a first down.
It's going to do it, Clint.
Louisville with 1 timeout to go, or left on their side. According to the scoreboard, I can only remember them taking 1 here in the half, but scoreboard says 1, so we'll go with that. Down to 2 minutes and a fresh set of downs for the Quakers. 2 receivers near side, 1 out to the left. Keaton Fossil takes the snap, runs to the left, bounce to the outside, and he'll go down at the line of scrimmage. He stays in bounds, most importantly, and now Louisville will take timeout with 1:38 to go. We'll take a break. It is New Philadelphia 12, Louisville 7. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at Sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
You come out and you run
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
.138 to go in this one. New Philly with a 12-7 lead over Louisville. And they will have a 2nd and 8 on their own 37-yard line. And just need to basically to run the clock out here. They'll hand it off to Fox running right. He is stacked up, and now he's got both arms wrapped around the football. They'll stop him on the 37, right around the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down, but the clock will continue to run. They could really take a knee here to avoid a chance of a turnover. 22 on the play clock and 1:10 on the game clock. So they can run it down to around 50 seconds and call a timeout if they wish to do that. So it will be 3rd down and 9 for the Quakers, but down a distance, not the issue here. And they're going to call the timeout as the play clock expires with 49 seconds. So we'll keep it here. Remember, after the game, the Paramount Elite player of the game, Green leading Dover 24-21 with 3 minutes to go on the starter scoreboard. West Branch 20, Canfield 7. They have 11 minutes left in that game. Apparently, Christian Bigglesworth telling us it was a cramp-filled 3rd quarter at that game. Buchtel well up now over Hoover in their game. Or I'm sorry, 1 point up over Hoover, 14-13. Men are up 36-13 on Jackson. Bill Angela St. Joseph all over Glen Oak tonight. So 50 seconds remaining here. Arlington still up on Warrensville Heights, 14-6 in the 4th.
Leopards fan, it's 3rd down. Let's make some noise.
So 3rd and 9. Man comes in motion, and they flip him the ball forward, and that is DiMarzio going out to the 40. That's a forward pass, so if the ball comes out, it's incomplete and not a fumble. So he goes to the 40, picks up about 3, and it'll be 4th down and 6, but they could snap it back to the punter and just let him run around for 4 or 5 seconds, and that would be the end of the game. We have 25 in the game clock, 22 on the play clock. So they could snap it with a couple seconds. They're probably just going to let the play clock run down here to 0 and call another timeout with 2 or 3 seconds on the game clock. So last night we had a offensive explosion for Perry. So they beat Central 35-0 tonight. A bit of a slog offensively for both teams. You can't blame it on the mud on the field. But one thing coaches love, the thing they love the most, I think, is to win their first game and not play that great doing it, which means they got the win. They've got a lot to talk about and a lot to coach and a lot to get their team's attention in that practice between week 1 and week 2.
It's a great point. It's a really good point. I'll have to ask Coach Johnson that, assuming that New Philly hangs on to this ball game. But yeah, I mean, talking to what better way to go into practice on Monday than with a lesson in a victory.
And a matchup against Steubenville next week for New Philadelphia, so they'll need to pick some things up quickly. And I don't know, maybe they were holding some things back to keep them off the film for next week. I don't know if that is an insult to this week's opponent to do that kind of thing, but the Quakers look like they're going to do just enough to win this game tonight, and they'll keep the offense out there, and it looks like they could just snap the ball back to Fossil and just have him run backwards until the clock runs out. That's what he does. The clock is at 0. Fossil goes down, and that's the end of the ball game. The New Philadelphia Quakers have held on tonight for a 12-7 victory over the Louisville Leopards. Stay tuned. We'll come back to wrap it up. We'll have the Paramount Elite Player of the Game. And we will wrap it up for tonight in just a moment. We'll take a timeout and we'll come back as New Philadelphia wins it here at Louisville 12-7. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
RG Drag, Star County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Congratulations to this month's SARTA Sensations. We salute Sensational Maintenance Supervisor Bill Mercer, who ensures SARTA has enough buses inspected and cleaned each morning. We salute our sensational administrator, John Michaels, who improves our processes and trains others the proper storage of SARTA records. We salute sensational writer Kevin, who gets where he needs to go, from shopping and dining to appointments. Way to go, Kevin. Learn more at SARTAsensations.com.
Located on West Tuscan, Canton, Harmon's Pub has proudly earned the title of Stark County's #1 bar. This local gem tantalizes taste buds with an impressive array of 18 chicken wing flavors, perfectly paired with an eclectic menu of fresh salads, mouth-watering burgers, and irresistible daily food and drink specials. Thursday nights are legendary for their famous Reuben with fries, all for just $10.99. Whether you're a wing aficionado or a burger enthusiast, Harmon's Pub is the ultimate destination for great food, delightful drinks, and unforgettable experiences.
This is High School Football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Back at Louisville, where the New Philadelphia Quakers have beaten the Louisville Leopards 12-7. Neither team is going to hang a copy of this one up on the wall. But the victory for the Quakers puts them at 1-0, and that's what they're looking for after week one. The score at halftime was 7-6 for Louisville. Late in the second quarter, they recovered a fumbled punt at the 3-yard line and scored on the next play. But then New Philadelphia, after a good kick return and a penalty on the kick return, starting on the Leopards' 47-yard line, drove down and took the rest of the first half and scored right before halftime. They had the extra point blocked, and it was 7-6 Leopards at half. Neither team able to get much going in the third until a big run by Colston Fox, a sophomore for New Philadelphia, set them up inside the RG Drag red zone, and they were able to score on an 11-yard run by Keaton Fossil, our Paramount Elite Player of the Game tonight. Fossil completed just enough passes and ran it very well tonight as the New Philadelphia offense adjusting from where it started out, using a few new people and going to some different pages of the playbook. We're able to open it up just enough and make just enough plays to win this game by a score of 12-7. Next week, Steubenville will be home. New Philadelphia will be home for Steubenville, and Louisville will be home for Alliance. So that'll do it from Leopard Stadium. Thanks to my partner, Ryan Bevere. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg back in the studios. My name is Clint Scroggs. Again, one more time, our final score on the Sardis scoreboard. New Philadelphia 12, Louisville 7. You've been listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Canton, your city, your station. Today's hit music, Q92.
I took a pill and he bees.